My name is Caroline Poynton from Manchester, Bury, which is Bury. Next to Bolton, not far from Rochdale and Pedo Walden. Right, I am not copywriting for YouTube. I am recording this for my own purposes as a call paying fucking attention to British Stan. And King Charles and the rest of them, they should leave because they're all in it to fucking gather. Take Shamir Mood and fucking shitty bastard Khan back to Pakistan because they're not British, they're Pakistanis.
And hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Earlier on today we shared, of course, the video of Donald Trump going in on the London Mayor Sadiq Khan for what? Part 6? Part 7? He does it quite regularly and yeah, I never, ever get tired of it. Do carry on please, Donald, it's amazing. However, Sadiq Khan has now came back and responded in the most Sadiq Khan way, and again, as always, just ignoring and not taking any accountability whatsoever. Guys, we are going to be going through what Sadiq has said, and I'll be breaking down why he's talking a load of nonsense. But as always, please do hit the like button and hit the subscribe button for more. So, let's remind you firstly on what Donald Trump had said about Sadiq Khan.
The mayor of London, he's a disaster. He's a disaster. He's got a totally different ideology of what he's supposed to have. And he gets elected because so many people have come in and they vote for him now because, you know, it's like, it's one of those things. But I hate what's happened to London and I hate what's happened to Paris. I hate when I see it.
You know, sir, it's sometimes hard to tell when you say these things. Do you intend to send kind of a message of tough love to our allies to push them to make reforms? Or do you think that many of them are just weak and you don't really want to be allies with them?
I don't want to be allies no more.
But I also think that they want to be so politically correct. I think they don't know what to do.
No.
Europe doesn't know what to do.
No.
They don't know what to do on trade either. I mean,
not
look at
a lot of them.
The situation that's going on over there is a little bit dangerous, but Europe, they want to be politically correct.
You know, the politically
and it makes them
stupid,
weak.
mate. Just get rid of the bastard damn lot of them.
Now, I think fairly valid, in my personal opinion, but Sadiq Khan has replied pretty much instantly and said this. I think the one part that President Trump has got right is that London is becoming a different place. We are the greatest city in the world. Sadiq responded. I suspect that's one of the reasons why we have a record number of Americans coming here on holiday, coming here to live, coming here to invest, or coming here to study. I literally have no idea why President Trump is so obsessed with this mayor of London. I am not sure what he's got against a liberal, progressive, diverse, successful city like London. Well, he said a few things there, and of course in a pure Sadiq Khan fashion. Again, no accountability whatsoever. And I just want to go through some of the words that he used here and kind of give it a counter argument as to what Sadiq claims. One of the things that I hate him saying is that we are the greatest city in the world. This is not factual, by the way, whatsoever, but kind of uses this mantra quite a lot. Now, you may argue and say, well, it's like one of us saying, oh, our football team is the greatest football team in the world, you know, that sort of saying. But he tries and backs out with these fake statistics that aren't actually factual whatsoever in the year 2025. Maybe in yesteryear it was, but statistically it's not the greatest city in the world whatsoever, so he can't be using these claims. He said London is becoming a different place, and I want to say that London has already become a different place, but nobody outside his media room is cheering. Knife culture is normalised in London. Stabbings are routine commuter news. Moped theft gangs operate daily unchallenged. High streets feel unsafe after dark. Lock your phone warnings and our lifestyle advice within the capital. And train platforms require vigilance like airports. The greatest city shouldn't come with personal safety disclaimers inside the city. London isn't admired, it's endured. So he then went on to say that record numbers of Americans are coming to holiday, live and invest. Now, what I would say about this is, I love this kind of narrative here, by the way. Of course, London is going to, of course, attract a lot of tourism. It does, due to its history, but it's nothing to do with his governance whatsoever. And, you know, in terms of tourism, tourists don't use the night bus in Lewisham. They also don't sit around waiting for Ubers in Croydon at 1 a.m. and also don't walk home from shifts in Hackney, you know. They see Harrods, Tate Modern and the West End shows and other sort of tourist landmarks. Londoners actually see the reality and actually have to see stuff within inside the capital. He also stated that why is Trump obsessed with him?
So, why is Trump obsessed? Because London's off limits, Birmingham's off limits, Manchester's off limits, fucking Scotland's off limits, Ireland's off limits. Basically, the whole fucking country in England is off limits. So that's why Trump's obsessed. The stupid, horrible bastard. And King fucking Charles. Oh, God, why would he give Sadiq Khan a knighthood? What for? Why? Why? Ask yourself that one. Ask what King Charles would give Sadiq Khan a knighthood for. I'll fucking tell you why. Only one reason. Yeah, because King Charles changed his religion to Muslim. He's a Muslim, he's fucking German. He's a German fucking lizard. And taking Queen... I'm glad Queen Elizabeth and them have gone. They fucking hate... I hate them. Queen Victoria, she was a fat, horrible fucking prostitute and slag. And then they created fucking all of that with Hitler and the rest. Because she went slag someone in Germany. And created Queen Victoria. Elizabeth. And she's not fucking even English. She's fucking German. Like King Charles, he's not even English, he's German. They are fucking German. Gotha. And I'm anti-bastard fucking Gotha and German, mate, after blowing England up. My granddads have fought them wars with fucking them bastards. The Gothas, the fucking Hitler and that. And all because of the royal family. That came to bastard England. Yep. Yep. Well, Queen Victoria. Dirty slag. Hooked us out to fucking Germany, she did. When she shagged the German. When it was anti-German. She ran to fucking Germany. Queen Victoria, when the war was going on, First World War, she ran to fucking Germany, didn't she? And then fucking had Queen Elizabeth. Germany. Queen Elizabeth, a couple of years later then, well, when she was whatever, had fucking King Charles in Germany. In Germany, not in England. Right, prove it. Prove the DNA. Prove hospital records. Doctor's notes. Yep. Prove, well, where's the evidence for that one? You've got evidence I was born here. Where's the evidence for Queen Elizabeth and King Charles? They came on a boat because Victoria was English. And she reminded me, I don't know, whatever, anyway, she had fucking Queen Elizabeth in Germany. She ran to Germany, Queen Victoria, the slag. And had fucking Queen Elizabeth. And then Queen Elizabeth had fucking King Charles. And then after King Charles, it was after the Second World War. King Charles was obviously born after the Second World War. Or through the Second World, whatever it was. And then they came to England. And then she had fucking Prince Anne. And Prince Anne and that were probably born in England, maybe not. Maybe most of them were born in Germany. Well, my dad was born 49. Since I was a year older than my dad. If my dad was alive. My dad would be the same age. 75 or something like that. Well, and King Charles is German. I said Queen Elizabeth. She was German. Barney James.
Now, my point here is that Trump is not obsessed with Sadiq Khan, actually, whatsoever. He genuinely isn't. He's using London as a symbol of Western urban decline.
I say Donald Trump is obsessed now. Why is it Donald Trump? Why is it not Sadiq Khan? He's a bastard. And he needs to leave. Why is he Lord Mayor of our country? He's not even English. He's not even British. His origin is Pakistan. He's not British at all. Where did he get that from? His parents were born in Pakistan, so he's from Pakistan.
He singles out London due to the failings that we just spoke about a moment ago. It's not necessarily about, it's Sadiq Khan. Yeah, he's calling you out because you've done a horrible job. But it's because it's London. London is always going to be critical due to that. But he ain't obsessed with you whatsoever. He never invented this narrative. London produced it, and that's why he's speaking about it. And the same with Paris as well. Then Sadiq went on to
moan about Donald Trump. Blame Donald somebody else when it's their own fault.
Here is that Trump is not obsessed with Sadiq Khan, actually, whatsoever. He genuinely isn't. He's using London as a symbol of Western urban decline. He singles out London due to the failings that we just spoke about a moment ago. It's not necessarily about, it's Sadiq Khan. Yeah, he's calling you out because you've done a horrible job. But it's because it's London. London is always going to be critical due to that. But he ain't obsessed with you whatsoever. He never invented this narrative. London produced it. And that's why he's speaking about it. And the same with Paris as well. Then Sadiq went on to say, what's wrong with a liberal, progressive, diverse, successful city? Now, the criticism isn't about London's diversity as such. It's about London's deterioration. Progress isn't the issue. Public safety is inside the capital. If this successful capital, or if it is a successful capital, then why does he never answer the basics when he's confronted on them about public safety and all the other things? Like in London, we literally have stickers by roads in Oxford Street and all other sort of busy areas saying, mind the grab, thieves operate in this area. You just can't make it up, really. The moped gangs are rife, and he has not controlled them whatsoever. But my point is, success is not measured in a capital city over the tourist numbers, in my personal opinion. It's measured whether people feel safe walking home, and the residents feel safe. And I don't think he could positively say that is the case inside the capital city, in London. London isn't failing culturally. Well, maybe it is. It's failing civically on everyday fundamentals that make a city livable. Safety, order, consequence. A great city doesn't just attract visitors, it actually protects the people that live there. So, I mean, Sadiq's points are, again, very much Sadiq's style, where he, again, takes no accountability. I just often wonder, why does he always think that people are attacking him? Why can't he just sit there, take accountability and go, wait, why are people going over me? He genuinely thinks in his head that it's a case of he's a Muslim from Pakistan. Absolutely not. It's absolutely not. That's not the case whatsoever. That's not why Donald Trump dislikes me. He genuinely thinks that's the case. He genuinely thinks that's the case, and that's why he's going after him. Because the guy can't take any accountability. No. That's the problem. Sadiq can't take any accountability for his actions. It can never be him. That's the problem. It's always got to be something else, and always returning the blame. But if that guy actually listened to the criticism that he was getting, not just from Donald Trump.
Sadiq Khan gets no criticism because he thinks he's very clever, snorting too much cocaine for himself. Sadiq Khan can't take nothing because he doesn't even like himself. So no one else compares to like him. He just uses his race and his colour. Well then, I'll tell you what. Well then he can go back to fucking Pakistan then, can't he?
Freaking everybody who inside the United Kingdom, then maybe he could act upon those criticisms.
Why is he not Lord Mayor of Pakistan? So sounds better for himself, doesn't it? Being from Pakistan, don't you think he should be Lord Mayor of Pakistan and not England?
And do a better job. Again, I think that he genuinely thinks that Donald Trump is obsessed with him. Donald Trump doesn't even know who he is. He probably doesn't know what he looks like. I mean, he actually came out and said he doesn't know what he looks like. He's using London as a staple. When you're using London as a reference point, it just goes to show how bad things have got. Where people are actually going, look at London, look at Paris.
America don't give a fuck about England.
That's not an attack on what diverse and progressive, diverse, successful city. It's using it as a reference point to say how bad things have actually got when he's in a position where he can compare the two. And people always say, do you know when you go to the gym, right? And you say if you've got a partner, you're at the gym and you go to the gym, people won't be able to notice the difference that much when they look at you. However, if someone sees you a year later and not seen you in that time, they might go, wow, you look so big, you've put on some muscle. And this is what we see when Donald Trump is looking at it. Every time he comes back, or other people that are coming back, they go, oh my God, what has gone on here? But guys, do let me know your thoughts on Sadiq Khan's response. As always, please leave it the like button and hit the subscribe button for more.
Okay, so now it's time for our next debate, and I think, who's up?
I'll take it away, because it leads very nicely on from what you were talking about, Renee, and that is that, unfortunately, this Labor government just cannot let go. Earlier this week, added to the canon of David Lammy mess-ups, he said, well, you know what, actually it wouldn't be the worst idea to rejoin the customs union. Wes Streeting followed soon after. I believe his words said, when asked whether we should rejoin the EU, I don't think so, in one of the least confident displays of Brexiteering I've heard in some time. Make no mistake, there will be a stealth re-entry into the European Union over the coming years. It won't be branded as a re-entry into the European Union. It will be a drip by drip by drip until effectively we are still rejoined at the hip with Europe. This would be a disaster. It would be a disaster economically to tie ourselves to an economic zone which is dying. The growth in the EU is even lower than the anemic growth in the United Kingdom. Culturally, we would be tying ourselves to a civilization in decline, a civilization which has opened up its borders, a civilization which in many instances has just given up to Islamism, a civilization which has forgotten what it stood for a long, long time ago. But most importantly, the Brexit vote was a vote about the will of the people and respecting the will of the people. If there's one constant in this Labor government, which was mentioned in our previous conversation, is that there is a very little respect this government has for the will of the people doing what they say they will do. Be on high alert. The stealth re-entry is coming.
There's nothing more important than keeping your money and your identity safe online. And with so many VPN options available, choosing the right one can be pretty daunting. But this video's sponsor, ExpressVPN, is making the choice easier for GB News viewers. ExpressVPN is offering up to 75% off, plus 4 extra months free. That's top-level security from just £2.49 a month, and you're covered by their 30-day money-back guarantee. So just click the link in this video's description or scan the QR code. Now, remember, when you're online, you are often sharing personal data, so hackers can steal your information, your passwords, your photos, and your bank details in just seconds.
None of them, they are
But
thick as two fucking
ExpressVPN
shop, like,
encrypts your
you can't
connection,
even do a
making it
commando
virtually
crawl.
impossible for hackers to access your personal information.
Oh no, these legal
So why
immigrants
choose
can stab
ExpressVPN?
people, but they can't
Well,
do
it
nothing
couldn't
in
be
the
easier to
army.
use. With just one click, you
Oh
are protected.
no, fragile human
ExpressVPN
rights.
uses military-grade
Because all
AES
fucking gay or
256
whatever.
encryption, which is the
Bagging
same
Jones.
standard trusted by the US
No, we
government
don't
to guard.
trust any of them with the UK government or any of it,
But the
mate.
golden ticket to an EU referendum, and we're going to rejoin if you...
faggot.
They're just going to try for the day.
I fucking don't like you no more.
I didn't say
You're
it was
faggot.
a monologue, but I'm going to say it
No,
now.
mate.
Politically,
I used to
it
like
wouldn't be
you,
the
but
worst
I don't
strategy
quite
because
like
they've
you
got
anymore.
literally nothing to lose.
You're right. You lost it with BBC nearly.
Right, the only thing I'd say is this, it would
Oh,
have...
piss off. Can't do with that. That's just silly. Yeah. Yay! We're flooding. I told you we were sinking before.
Storm after storm
Yeah,
hitting
well,
Wales
good.
this autumn. And
That's
this is what
sinking.
Bram has brought with it.
Has it?
Livelihood
I know, I'm
and the
sorry.
water.
Oh,
The
sorry.
landlord of the Cresselli Arms in Carmarthenshire says
This is
it
what's
could be the
happening,
end
mate,
of his
because the
business.
fucking country's
Washed out
fucking
by
flooded
yet
with the
another
illegal
storm.
immigrants. We've got
Here we
too
are
many
now.
people on the
Yeah,
island.
3 weeks ago we were in a
So
similar
now we're
situation.
fucking flooding.
And
We're
it
flooding
looks as though
into
it's
the
going the
sea,
same way
yeah?
again. So yeah, from a business
Yeah, we've
point of view, this is
overflowed the boat.
potentially game
This
over.
boat is too full now.
Last time it flooded, we had to spend 1,100 quid on
That's
sanitizing
alright,
the
well,
cellar before the brewery would change the coolers.
Well, what do you want?
As you can
Nah,
imagine, having
me
stocked
over
up for my
cat.
first week, I've got 1,100 quid to do it all again.
And here in Pontypridd, Josh is
I'm
one of
not
a few
yet.
surviving businesses from
Right,
Storm
yeah.
Bert
Bad.
back in 2024.
Come
He
down
rebuilt
to a
piece
ship
by
and
piece.
wash it.
Having washed away that nightmare, he now faces the deja vu
Dying.
of yet another storm and what could come next.
I think it's, you know, even still today we're still suffering with the financial loss.
That's your
I
bed.
think the place I'm in personally is after that loss, I haven't really been able to reinvest back into my business because, you know, I'm obviously
you're
worried
right.
that it's going to flood again. And over the last, like I said, month or so with the 3 warnings in place, you know, I think it was a wise decision not to put my own personal money back into the shop.
Me
Just
cat.
to worry about losing her again. So I think
Ugh.
never really
In a
got
bed.
over it. We're still sort of dealing with it today. It's just sort of trying to crack on and not, you know, let it take over your life.
Leslie is watching the river very closely. She's seen it rise before, suddenly and
Let's
dangerously.
see.
She knows how quickly things here
It does.
can turn messy. And tonight, she's
Look.
worried.
You'll sleep the same. I know it's only water.
I'm washing the
and yes,
inside bit
water
there, so
dries
I'd take
out,
it
I
off
know.
because she was sick.
But it's a hassle of everything. And hopefully this
Ah,
will go down.
no, grass
So I'm
everywhere.
hoping it won't go any worse.
Sick
because
grey.
obviously we don't want to
Whatever.
get flooded because we've got
Yeah.
Christmas tree up, we've got like 2 of them and the presents.
Rapper
and you're
Wales
thinking,
hat.
Okay, we can take stuff up, but how
That's
much can
the
we take
Welsh.
up?
Heavy rain and strong winds are covering
Well, you
much
could
of
be
Wales
British,
too.
but you sound very
Here
Welsh
in
to me.
Portugal, people keeping well away from the sea.
You sound very
Waves
Welsh to
rushing
me.
over the front, the wind
Very well.
pushing higher and higher. Authorities say the message is simple. Be ready, stay updated,
So I think she was
and don't
proper
take
Welsh.
risks. Wales is watching the
I was gonna say,
skies
I think she
again,
was like a
hoping
proper Welsh
Bram
person,
causes
though.
less damage than the storms we've already endured.
Not one of the
So
only
John,
ones
still
like.
ongoing impact
No,
of
it's
this
not
storm
bad.
tonight, especially for drivers. The winds have affected lighting columns on the Prince of Wales bridge. So that part of M4 has been down to 1 lane only on both directions. We are also hearing that
Wales.
up to 2,000 properties have been without power across the country. While the rain is easing, the concern about flooding
See, Wales
does
is
not
different
ease.
to England. A
Natural
bit like
resources,
what?
Wales still
Yeah,
has flood
Wales is
warnings in
dreadful.
force across mostly South and West Wales, along with flood alerts. So
Well,
the
maybe if your
message
parents
tonight,
were born in
John,
Wales,
is
you
that
might be
people
British
stay
as well.
vigilant and be prepared.
Okay, Issa in Pontypridd, thank you very much indeed. And now the picture in North Wales, where strong winds are still a concern. Carol, what's the latest you have?
It's pretty bad outside. Well, it was earlier on.
Well, they are definitely a concern, John. You can probably see and no doubt hear how strong the wind is still blowing here in the Vale of Clwyd. That yellow wind warning will be in place across the region until 7 o'clock for another hour, until midnight in the far northeast of Wales. There's a flood warning down this valley and across much of the region. And further west in the Conwy Valley, the main route, the A470, is closed at the moment at Maynham due to a fallen tree. And in Holyhead, the roof of a sports centre has been blown off in the gusts. Also, the ferries have been cancelled, and Coleg Menai has closed 3 of its sites today to keep learners and staff safe. But of course, this time of year is really key for businesses. They want to get ahead for Christmas, but this weather can certainly keep people at home. Even though for now we have escaped the worst, at least here in North East Wales.
It's getting worse, I think, isn't it? Not better. Don't like the wind, don't like the rain, but we'll try and carry on. Keep everybody safe.
I don't think we've had it quite as bad up in North Wales as they've had it elsewhere. No change for me at the moment.
This morning I was in the house, and then this afternoon I've taken my sister to hospital because she's had a broken wrist. That was a bit difficult because it was a bit windy with the doors and that, but other than that.
The police are urging motorists to take extra care and to drive to the conditions. But with these named storms coming through thick and fast, it's further evidence that climate change is here, and it's now.
A distinctly unfestive scene greeted the owners of Cornwall's Winter Wonderland today after Storm Bram blew through, leaving the site strewn with broken signs and damaged food outlets.
We're quite bad early,
Absolutely heart-wrenching to come out in the darkness at 4 o'clock this morning to find the damage that Storm Bram has done. Myself and my wonderful team, along with my eldest son, tried to prevent most of the damage that we could.
Well, they'll say nature, but it's not really nature, is it?
Thousands and thousands of pounds worth of damage that hopefully is repairable.
Efforts are now on to get it up and running again. In Porthleven, the sheer force of the storm sent waves crashing over the harbour and swirling sea foam resembled snow. The town's park was completely waterlogged, and thousands of homes across the region were left without power, including hundreds of homes roofs. In Lostwithiel, it was hard to tell river from road, with cars caught out by floodwaters.
We've not been here billions of years, we've been, so
This is what happens.
It's just carried on coming in because high tide was at 8:30, and then it rained, and of course then it just got worse. But it does cause hassle, but it's nature, isn't it?
It is. It's the worst we've seen it for a few years, but it does this every year.
Cornwall Fire and Rescue Service said it was inundated with calls and tended to around 15 weather-related incidents.
Right across the county there was many properties in the Kellybray, Callington area. Down the Lizard Peninsula there was cars stuck in water there as well. And being in the middle of the night, it's quite dark, a lot of hazards, and it's just making sure we can get safely to those people in the cars, make sure they're okay, and get them straight to safety.
As the storm now thankfully subsides, for some the clear-up continues.
Kathy, it looks like there's electricity there, but are there some homes still without power tonight?
Well, yes, the latest figures we have is that there are 216 homes in Cornwall remain without electricity this evening. The figure is 485 for Devon and 43 in Somerset, and we've been told that engineers are working hard to get them back on their electricity supply as soon as possible this evening. Here at Cornwall's Winter Wonderland, repairs are ongoing as well this evening. They are hoping they may be able to reopen tomorrow. They are planning to put an update about that on their own Facebook page later this evening. We've also been told that anyone that did book the ice skating here this evening can go online and rebook their session.
Well, now Northern Ireland is being battered by Storm Bram. An amber weather warning is in place with winds of up to 80 miles an hour affecting counties Antrim, Fermanagh, Londonderry and Tyrone.
That weather warning will run until 8 o'clock tonight. Well, Paul Riley has been braving the stormy conditions and we can join him now live in Carrickfergus. Paul.
Thanks, Rose. Yes, all parts of Northern Ireland have been under a yellow weather warning since 9 a.m. this morning, and that's set to last until 10 o'clock tonight. But at 2 o'clock this afternoon, as you said, that amber weather warning came into place. It's been extended until 8 p.m. tonight, and it's affecting mostly northern and western counties of Northern Ireland. Well, as for where I'm standing here in Carrickfergus, this main road into Belfast was closed for a time today because of a tidal surge. Those waves coming over the wall here and meaning the road had to be closed. Further up the coast in Whitehead, we've also seen reports of tidal surges, and parts of County Down, well, they're not immune. We've seen flooding in parts of the Ards Peninsula and parts of Newcastle as well. Well, as for travel, well, people are being advised to check with their airline or their ferry company before they travel. We believe most of the ferries have been cancelled for tonight. And we've been speaking to NIE. In the last hour, they told us, although there's low-level damage, there are a few thousand homes without power. There's still another hour of this amber warning to go, so it's still early days. We could see further disruption into tonight.
Flights and trains have been cancelled and hundreds of properties left without power due to Storm Bram. The Met Office has issued amber and yellow weather warnings for rain and wind from northern Scotland down to Cornwall. Ben Chapman is in Merthyr Tydfil this lunchtime. Ben, how is it where you are?
Well, I want to show you the dramatic effect that all the rain that fell on South Wales overnight, brought by Storm Bram, has had here on the River Taff. Now this is normally a pretty peaceful, pretty little weir, but as you can see, all of that water which has been flowing down off the hills into the valleys here in South Wales and into this river has turned this into a raging torrent, and you don't need to imagine the kind of impact that can have on some riverside properties. We've got some pictures to show you of the Cresselly Arms, a pub just a bit west of here near Carmarthen, which is flooded for the second time in 3 weeks. Now, so far, we haven't seen the kind of severe, widespread flooding that we had a couple of weeks ago in Monmouth, for example, but the flooding has been causing disruption to train services in Wales. Several lines closed, although they are starting to slowly reopen. And the wind has been having an impact as well. Most of the 39 flood warnings in place in England this lunchtime are for coastal flooding in the southwest. Around 4,000 homes at some point or other have been without power. And as this storm moves northwards, it is Scotland and Northern Ireland that is going to feel the impact of those winds later today.
Time for the weather now. Alex is here. Alex, how long is the storm weather expected to last?
Well, certainly over the next 12 hours or so, still some testing conditions out there with our second named storm of the storm season.
Because the cows are the ones that drink the water. They need water.
A bit of a punch
and the sheep, the daft bastards. Because they drink moisture, the water of the grass, most of the water gets sucked up by cows.
That, to be honest with you. Let's take a look at the current storm that we have. So Storm Bram, that's been packing a punch through today. Strongest gusts of wind so far has been up to 84 miles per hour, and you can see many areas gusting in excess of 70 miles per hour. So likely we could see more disruption, and we could even see some stronger gusts as we head through the next few hours. Rainfall wise, it has been a pretty dismal day out there, particularly out towards many western, northwestern parts of the UK, also the southwest, where we've seen 106 millimetres of rain across parts of White Barrow. Let's take a look at the pressure pattern setup and see exactly where Bram is at the moment. It's up towards the north. As you can see, isobars still very tightly packed together. The wind is still a feature as we head through the next few hours, and that's why there are Met Office warnings still very much in place, amber warnings in fact. Let's take a look at those right now and see how that's all going to pan as we head through the next couple of days or so. So this is the current situation. Amber, rain, wind warnings in place, as you can see at the moment. Fast forward to tomorrow, and they still will be in place, particularly up towards the northwest. So as I say, water disruption is likely. Let's take a look at the forecast. Well, as we head through the next few days, well, actually towards the weekend, it stays thoroughly unsettled with low pressure never too far away. Next system to watch out for probably is on Saturday, although I don't think it will be as intense, but it still will be quite wet and windy. Let's take a look at this evening then, and you can see as you come further south, it is a largely dry evening out there at the moment. However, it is quite breezy, and we'll see more showers developing as we head through these small hours of Wednesday. You can see temperatures in these kinds of conditions, so the wind really helps to keep the temperatures up, so no frosty conditions overnight tonight. But as we head into tomorrow, it will be a bright start for May, but just notice the rash of showers that do stretch up towards Scotland. They're going to be quite frequent and heavy initially. You can see they stay quite heavy into the afternoon. Elsewhere, they kind of die out, so it's going to be a bright but breezy afternoon for much of England, Northern Ireland and all of Wales. Temperatures won't be as mild as what they were today, so in Cumbria, we actually got to a high of 17 degrees Celsius, way above average for the time of year. That kind of paints a picture of how mild this system has been that's come in through the last few hours or so. But you see tomorrow, a bit fresher, but these temperatures are still above average for the time of year. Let's take a quick look at Thursday, and you can see dry start, but this system will be waiting in the wings through Thursday, so we'll have the rain coming through, and as I say, from Friday into the weekend, there will be a great deal of change, so it is.
Right, we know it's going to fucking stormy. Well,
Breaking news coming out of Manchester. Emergency services have been called immediately to a place in East Manchester where they put a huge cordon around the area and going door to door trying to find answers. We've got helicopters in the air, we've got armed police on the ground, we've got paramedics there. Loads of news coming out of this one. A complete lockdown in Manchester this evening due to an incident that we will talk about more in this video today.
Lockdown in Manchester, where?
And lives the truth, and the truth will be heard. The truth is this. Once again, we have terror on our streets in Manchester, and of course, it's very concerning when you see armed police and helicopters circulating above your head in the evenings as you're just trying to relax as a normal citizen. This is a story we must get into. People, make sure you are subscribing to a channel like this. This is the media channel, not any of the mainstream media covering this tonight. I'm telling you that for sure. Make sure you get in the comment section and hit a like button for the effort we're going through this. The effort, I say, my laptop is kaput. It's died. It's not working. I've been trying to do recordings. It's just not having it. So I've gone emergency. I've gone old school. Back to the mobile phone with my little microphone. And yeah. It's going to be a different layout as always in this video. I like to show you all the evidence on the screen. Today we're just going to be reading and talking. So if you can put up with my voice for a few minutes or so, please do bear with. But without further ado, less of me, more about this story. So as I said, there's a large cordoned area in and around Manchester, and the area is the residential area of Clayton. Now please do let me know if you are in or around that area at all. And what has happened is tonight, on Tuesday, the 9th of December, as I report this, armed services have swarmed in. And there's a police cordon on Clayton Street in Clayton. And what's been happening is they are focusing on the area, the junction around with Flint Close. And the nature of the incident, well, let's talk about this. You have images of armed police going door to door, trying to find out what is going on. A police helicopter is circulating and searching, and paramedics did deal with someone at the scene today. And I'm going to give you a bit of a description of that. There's one eyewitness who has come forward and has spoken to the Manchester Evening News, who again is the story and article that is covering all of this. And this is what they've said. The eyewitness has said that they saw a, School Marie said, police arrived at around 7:20 tonight. She told the Manchester Evening News she saw an injured man being tended to by paramedics. She said he was sat on a step covered in 4 blankets with police officers and paramedics around him, and then he was taken off in an ambulance. And obviously quite scary for that resident to see that. Throughout the evening, the cordon and size of the area has reduced. As I said, Flint Close and a small cul-de-sac of Clayton Street is the area in which police officers are focusing on. We haven't got an update exactly on what has happened why it has happened, and there has to be more investigating. Manchester Evening News have asked Great Manchester Police for an update of any information in the statement, so we're awaiting that statement from them. And ultimately, as I said, this one is a little bit terrifying. This one is, again, you know, people's lives being disrupted because of an incident that's happened that we can only speculate, we can only look at. But when armed police and the helicopter is called in, you know this serious business has gone off. And, you know, this is sort of in line of what's happened earlier today with a story in Islington, where a 15-year-old boy was murdered, brutally murdered, in the daytime outside of his school. And a few hours later, a man was caught with a machete at one of the stations in Islington. This is just ridiculous. And Britain has become, you know, what we've seen in the soaps. And not even in the soaps were they this dramatic. But streets in Britain, up and down the country, are being cordoned off, policed off, shut down because of acts of violence and terror. This is not things that have happened in the last 5-10 years. And people say, oh, this sort of stuff's been going on for years. No, not this level. Not every night. Not every day.
She can die after.
So I'm absolutely disgusted at what I'm reading and seeing. Again, people in the community will be shocked, they'll be worried, they'll be scared. And I would be as well, seeing that sort of stuff. So, look, we have to wait and see. We'll have to, you know, hope that nothing too major has happened as such. But I'm going to hold my breath. So we are, as I said, we'll cover and pick this story up in the morning when we get more news and information from Great Manchester Police about exactly what has gone on tonight. But as I said, a major response from armed forces in and around Manchester this evening. Let's see what happens. Thank you for watching a short one, a sweet one. As I said, I don't have any way of showing you anything but my face and my voice. So I would really appreciate it. I've gone to these lengths. I'm going to try and get my laptop sorted. Give me a like. Subscribe if you can. We're on the road to 27,000 subscribers. That's absolutely nuts. No, is it 28? I think it's 28. I've lost count. That's how mad it's been. And make sure you get in the comment section as well. Thank you, people. Enjoy it. I'm out of it.
England. And Sadiq Khan. Why would King Charles give Sadiq Khan a knighthood? Seriously.
David Lammy has refused 7 times to rule out reversing Brexit during an astonishing interview yesterday. And the Deputy Prime Minister argued that leaving the European Union badly damaged the UK economy.
No, he's a fucking prat.
If Britain judged that hosting the President for a second state visit a few months ago would win over Donald Trump and spare the UK the disdain of the administration, well, Downing Street will tonight be having second thoughts.
And I think it's
he stood there fitting well enough with Donald Trump a couple of months ago to speak out, but he can't speak out about the grooming gangs or anything else, or Islam. Why can't he condemn Islam, King Charles, for what they're doing to our country?
Why what's happening to Europe?
In a startling new
Because he's changed his religion to Islam. That's why he won't do it.
interview, the President has accused Europe as a whole, and by implication Britain, of weakness in the face of illegal migration.
But most European nations, they're decaying. They're decaying. They should be freaked out by what they're doing to their countries. They're destroying their countries. And they're people I like. Look, they're people I like. I get along with them. You know that. But they can't let this happen. And it gets to a point where you can't really correct it. I think they're weak. But I also think that they want to be so politically correct. I think they don't know what to do.
No.
Europe doesn't know what to do.
He also launched an astonishing new attack on London and Sadiq Khan.
He's a horrible mayor. He's an incompetent mayor, but he's a horrible, vicious, disgusting mayor. I think he's done a terrible job. London's a different place. I love London. I love London. And
This is what Donald Trump thinks of Sadiq Khan. That is a horrible man. Why would King Charles give him a fucking knighthood?
I hate to see it happen.
The Foreign Secretary pushed back.
Why would King Charles give Sadiq Khan a knighthood in 2025?
Also launched an astonishing new attack on London and Sadiq Khan.
Was it?
He's a horrible mayor. He's an incompetent mayor, but he's a horrible, vicious, disgusting mayor. I think he's done a terrible job. London's a different place. I love London. I love London. And I hate to see it happen.
The Foreign Secretary pushed back.
King Charles. What would he give Sadiq Khan a knighthood for her? Oh, she's just a fucking stupid bitch.
Disgusting mayor. I think he's done a terrible job. London's a different place. I love London. I love London.
Sadiq Khan has done such a terrible job that King Charles would give him a knighthood. Huh. Hey.
London. And I hate to see it happen.
The Foreign Secretary pushed back at that particular presidential diet.
Well, King Charles thinks Sadiq Khan is the best mayor that London has ever had. Well, they give him a knighthood.
A tribe.
Obviously, when it comes to the Mayor of London, you would not be surprised to know I, of course, take a strongly different view, and I think the Mayor is doing an excellent job for the people of London.
Thank you very much for being here.
And his words on Ukraine and on President Zelensky, with whom he's had a combustible relationship, will be of grave concern to European governments.
He's going to have to get on the ball and start accepting things. You know, when you're losing, because you're losing. I know the good leaders, I know the bad leaders, I know the smart ones, I know the stupid ones. You got some of the stupid ones still. But they're not doing a good job. Europe is not doing a good job in many ways. They're not doing a good job. They talk too much, and they're not producing. We're talking about Ukraine. They talk. But they don't
do
produce.
anything, just steal every fucking
And
money.
the war just keeps going
Carries on because we
and
want the EU want it to
It's been
carry
4
on.
years now it's been going on.
It's going
Long
with
before
Russia.
I got here. This is not my war,
because
this
you
is
want
Joe
to tap the
Biden's
oil
war.
from Russia, mate.
It's Team
Come on,
Europe
let's get it
and
back.
Team United States. And yet one European leader known to have close links to Trump suggested today a ceasefire in Ukraine is now within reach.
To answer directly the question, where are we today? I think we are closer to a peace agreement than we have been at any time since the war began.
Trump's critique of Europe will hit home and hard, partly because on the issue of defence there is an element of truth in his assessment, and partly because it's now clear the transatlantic alliance is in severe jeopardy, with the White House openly deriding its allies as enfeebled and indecisive.
Well, Robert will assess for us what Mr. Trump is up to in a moment. But first, let's get our European reaction from James, who's in Poland, in Rzeszów. James, listen, I mean, Donald Trump, as Robert was saying, does have a point when he talks about European spending. There'll be plenty of people who agree with what he has to say about illegal immigration, but he can't really seem to stop slagging Europe off. How has it gone down tonight?
Slagging Europe off. He's not slagging Europe off. He's just telling the truth.
We have been here before, of course, but by any standards, this is bad. And I think if you're worrying European leaders particularly over what he said about Ukraine, today's the day when President Zelensky has been putting together his own counter-peace proposal backed by Europe to offer that to what.
Like a bit what Donald Trump said there, but now they're just fucking lying, because they always lie.
Keir Starmer talked about an island of strangers. Do you think that there needs to be more done?
He said we didn't want to become an island of strangers, and of course community cohesion and integration is important, and the government are taking steps to look at English requirements. But we absolutely can't lose sight of the contribution for decades that we have seen from immigration. I'm a Derby MP and really proud of that contribution, which isn't just in the NHS but also in our industries. And so,
but I don't think anyone's necessarily arguing with that, are they? They're talking about how much you adopt
and it's about how
the culture of the country.
And I think that language is a huge part of that, to enable people to fully be able to appreciate and be a part of our communities, and I think that's right. But I certainly wouldn't want to see kind of pulling down, tearing down or emptying properties when we've had so little building of especially social housing and affordable housing for so long, and I'd much rather welcome, as I do, the 39 billion that we'll see to build more affordable and social housing.
Yeah, but they have.
Alex, what do you make of what you saw in that documentary? And do you think it applies in any way to what's happening in this country?
Of course it applies to this country. We already have balkanised communities, and that spells out a great peril for the future of societal integration. And you've got similar policies being adopted in Sweden. These are sort of proposals that are now being looked into across Europe because we've realised what's happened with levels of immigration and lack of integration. It's creating social disquiet and disharmony to the point in which people are even starting to use words such as civil war, for crying out loud. Now, I think there is nothing wrong with defending your national cultural mores, your communal morality, and I think that's what we need to be doing. I fully agree we need to ban the full face covering, which they've done in Denmark. I think that is absolutely right. I think that is a barrier for integration if you're not making eye contact. English language is vitally important. I think we need to look at the amount of translation services we offer. I personally would go as far as getting rid of faith schools that are not Catholic or C of E, which tend to allow children from other faiths to come in, because I don't think taking children away and educating them primarily in their own cultural context is healthy. And I personally would also go as far as banning the slaughter of animals that haven't been pre-stunned. And I'd say to anybody who says, well, we don't like that and we demand exceptions because of what we want within our system, this is our country. We believe in animal welfare. We don't believe that women should be shamed for exposing their faces, and we believe little children should all play in a sandpit together. Simple.
Liz?
I'm going to have to react to the piece that we just saw from Simon Reeves, because
miserable
we're talking about forced evictions there, and that's the comparison that we are discussing today. This is really bad stuff for us to be talking about in Europe. We've been here before.
No, whatever.
And when I came in, what I wanted to talk about actually was the fact that in Denmark, they are prepared, they're quite resigned to paying 46% of their income on taxation. We only spend 34% here, so that in Denmark, of course, there is much more money within the public services to try and integrate into communities. But what we're hearing, and we're hearing it today from Alex, is this rhetoric of division. Of course we must find a way to bring our communities together.
So how do you do that?
A civil war.
No, I say other people have started saying that, and that's alarming. Rhetoric of division. I'm talking about making sure people are brought together and not divided.
You came on television and you used that term.
It's very clear.
She said other people had been saying it.
Reached the point.
There is
warning of that.
There is a tactic of raising things and then couching it in that sort of term. But this language that we're using.
Do you think that there aren't divisions? Do you think that anything does need to be done, or you don't think that?
I think when we were talking about schools just now, you could equally apply that, and it'd be interesting next year with reforms policies about Welsh medium schools in Wales, quite frankly. Of course we have to have common values, of course we have to have...
And how far should the state make sure that...
Oh, that's annoying. Annoying bastards. They don't even know what they're talking about. That's so annoying. They are so annoying.
Hal?
Hiya, mate.
Hal, hello again, chaps and choppettes. How are we all doing here? It's lovely to see you all again. As always,
now and everybody.
you know how we're in the midst of a pandemic here in the UK,
well, we are in
with
one,
foreign
aren't we?
invaders howarding and pillaging up and down the country,
in the pandemic
anything
before, we are
with
now.
a pulse. And I've also mentioned
They'll let
in
you out
passing
now,
before
though, won't they?
about how,
They've got
no matter
psychopaths
where you
running
live
about.
in the UK, this can and probably will
Didn't want to go out before
happen
and
in
it was
your
too quiet
area
and there was no
as
psychopaths
well.
about. But now all the
This
psychopaths
story
are bringing
tonight
that out. They don't
is of no
care,
exception.
They can kill
This
you, do
story
what they want.
is about a GB News reporter who was going around a small town in, I believe, Warwickshire, called Leamington Spa. GCSE in geography, you never would have thought, would you? Goes around Leamington Spa, talking to the residents in the local area about two foreign invaders who howarded a 14 or 15-year-old girl. And they're utterly flabbergasted. How could this happen?
No.
It's so peaceful here. And I just want to delve a little bit deeper into the way these people think and what I've seen in the past from people such as these. So like I say, this is on GB News' website. Under the headline, Leamington Spa residents left speechless after shocking asylum seeker R-word. Is it really so shocking though? I mean, this is in the papers, in the news, every pissing day. These people have to know that this is going on up and down the country. Residents of Leamington Spa have expressed disbelief following the sentences of 2 teenage asylum seekers for the R-murder of a 15-year-old girl in the town. 2 teenage asylum seekers.
They're not. They're not.
The attack, well, actually, no, scrub that. I'm sick of this. These people are not asylum seekers. They're economic migrants who are here to squeeze the country for everything that they can get whilst doing the most amount of damage to the general populace around them while they're doing it. It's nothing more, really.
That's like having a wolf out there, mate.
Someone taking the wallet from your back pocket and then you're expected to say,
Mr. King is a wolf.
Thank you, sir. Is there anything else I can do to help you?
He's never said thank you.
That's the way the government wants you to react to these asylum
Elizabeth ever said thank you.
They're not asylum seekers. They are a stain on our country that needs to be scrubbed clean. Asylum seekers is someone who is seeking asylum from persecution, fear of death, all the rest of that nonsense. That is not happening with these people. I am sick to death of that phrase being made for these
Germany, royal married to a German.
Barbaric animals. That's the nicest way I can possibly put it.
Queen Elizabeth.
The attack which took place on May 10th has left the community reeling, with many struggling to comprehend how such a crime could occur in what they consider a safe area. One local told GB News it was really shocking. It was shocking, really shocking. I haven't got any other words really. Leamington seems such a quiet and safe place. I've lived here for such a long time and I've really never heard of anything like this before. And neither you shouldn't. You live in the United Kingdom, you live in England, you don't live in the Middle fucking East, where stuff like this and